Willie D Live.
It's Willie D, y'all, back with another episode of information and instructions to help you navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. In the studio, Johnny Binder Jr. What's up, King?
Man, I ain't heard that name in so long, but you one of the few people can call me that because you qualify to call me that, and that's the name my mother gave me, and that name made me, and I'm glad to sit here with such a guy as yourself that's been through the music world and been very successful. Now you can help save lives all over the country, so I'm praying for your show to go platinum like Shay Shay did at $100 million. I want you to get a $100 million contract because I know you, can't nobody call you in the middle of the night with no 19-year-old girl. Yeah. I know you will go and do what's right and help us here with vocational school and save our people's life.
Absolutely. I was about to say, man, I don't know if I want $100 million would come with that $100 million, man, because, boy, if they ain't got something, boy, they going to find something. They going to manufacture something. But anyway, I hope old Shannon
I hope
all
you
the
make
best.
it.
I wish him all the best. Man, you got a hell of a story, bro. Like, I'm talking about heavy. A lot of times I talk to people and they want to come on the show and they, sometimes other people pitch them. Sometimes, they pitch themselves and they talk about how great of a story they have. And then when I go into the story, I'm like, that's regular. That's just a regular story. That ain't nothing extraordinary. You have an extraordinary story. What part of your story, though? Because I know you. Me and you go back to Jerry curls. Okay, yes, so I know you when you had a Jerry curl and I had a Jerry curl. Okay, but what part of your story do people keep getting wrong, and why do you think that narrative persists?
Well, they get it wrong by who is who in this town, and they get it wrong by somebody try to label me as a snitch. So, I got the Nation Islam, and they went on national TV, and Farrakhan, all of them put the paperwork up. Ain't nothing on me. So, and then they say that I was a pimp. I ain't never had to ask a female in my life to lay down and take a peanuts for some money. I had thieves. I had boosters that take millions of dollars out of jewelry stores. And I had con bras. I've never had a prostitute. So all my women was my women. We made love. They was my women. I don't want no woman when somebody else touches. So I can't wait to straighten that in my movie. Because man, you pimp, man. No, I ain't never been a pimp. That's a lie. I hate pimps.
I heard you say something that one could categorize as derogatory about pimps. You said, and I quote,
"Come on,
I punk pimps."
Say it again.
Do you remember saying that? I punk pimps.
Yeah, I
heard you say it.
Yeah, I ran pimps out of the city.
Yeah.
The nigga out of Atlanta that had a lady, she's successful, I won't call her name, she owned a beauty shop. He was trying to put on a robe, and she come to me at my sophisticated lady when I bought that strip center for about $3 million from Marie Preston. Because Marie was my friend, king and queen. So they thinking me and Marie sold drugs together. We never sold nothing together. But make a long story short, she come to me crying. I said, what's wrong with you? He's telling me. I say, who? I said, come here, man. Put in my VIP room. I say, man, go on back to Atlanta. I say, you can go two ways, in a box, or you can drive or fly. I said, if I see you again, if I hear anything else about you with this girl, then I cocked it up. I finna put in his mouth. All right, man, all right. So he left. So when I got out of prison, she took care of me. She invested almost $100,000 in me, bought me 3 navigators. Marie? The woman that I saved her life.
Marie? Did you say Marie?
No, Marie Preston? Yeah. Oh, she owe me millions.
Is Marie Preston still alive?
Yeah. I took her case. I beat my case. I'm so glad we're talking about this. 1987, what I'm saying, the document, she already have it. 1987, I got a no bill, 12th of November, my birthday. I got re-indicted on December 14th with Marie Preston.
Okay.
Her people still selling drugs. So they tied me into her. They wanted me to talk on her connection, which I knew her connection. I had a Colombian connection, but she didn't. She had another connection. So to make a long story short, I wouldn't talk. So I had a 4-month trial, 9 lawyers, Craig Washington being the lead lawyer, then Ken Schaefer, I made him. And they come back, they couldn't find nothing on me. So the lady went in the room and said, please find something on me. So I went to the lady's house, one of the jurors. I went to her house, way out on the ranch. I took $250,000 out there to give to her. See? That's why I was telling 50 Cent, y'all can do my movie. You ain't got to hype nothing. My whole life was hype. Y'all hyping them fake movies, but Johnny Biden ain't no hype. This happened. I took the $250 to the lady. I said, ma'am, all I want you to do is tell the truth. If you think I'm guilty, say I'm guilty. She said, baby, I can't. I said, what's wrong? I already agreed to give you 2-3 year sentences. I said, but she said, if I did, never gonna give you life. I said, okay. And she said, you look like my son. She handed me the picture. Her son got killed in the army. He looked just like me. I hugged, I prayed with her. And I was gonna leave her some money. She wouldn't tell. I was just gonna leave her $10,000 for telling the truth. She said, no, I want nothing, I want nothing. So I left. She was pretty well out. She had a ranch. And I left, and I told my lawyer what I did. Ken Shaver almost had a heart attack. You went to one of the jurors' house? I said, yeah, but you, fool, is you crazy? I said, no, man, I'm not trying to get no life sentence. I pay the whole jury $250 apiece just to tell the truth. I give them $250,000 for you to tell the truth. If y'all think I'm guilty, okay, say guilty. But if I'm not, they didn't find me with no drugs, no nothing, nothing. The whole trial about Marie Preston. They ain't found nothing on me. But to make a long story short, they gave me 2-3 year sentences. Judge Hittner, the worst judge on the planet, took the 2-3 year sentences. It was 2 to 20. He gave me 20 on one, gave me 20 on the other, stacked them as 40. He gave Marie 4 tens, gave her 40, and tried to make it like a joke. September the 18th, 1988, after a 4-month trial, he gave me 40 years. Then he asked me, got anything to say? My wife, Bunny Bassett, she was rich. She stayed in Beaumont, Cheek. She fell out. She like Vanessa Williams. She fell out. My mom went to screaming, everybody. And I understand everybody screaming, but they forgot I had to do the 40 years. So I'm sitting there like, I'm looking at them, I'm like, damn. Because I never had no time. You know, I had the 18 years before that. So that 40 years messed me up, though. I'm like, 40 years.
So how'd you end up doing 10 out of 40?
Because I put on the old law.
You would have what?
Yeah. I'm going to give it to you. Make sure I send him all my paperwork because he's going to be a part of the movie. Because in 1986, the old law, you do a fourth. But when it got to 1987, the 12, 13, 14 on, you had to do 85%. They changed the law. So if they could have proved continued criminal enterprise, where it went on in 87, then they'd have got me. But I've been out the game 2 years. I was in 4th Ward. I bought a club, opened up a Trinity Foundation. I was gone for 2 years. I stopped selling drugs when I kidnapped Kathy Griffin. She's pregnant, pretty, and I felt I was killing. You
kidnapped the Kathy Griffin.
I kidnapped
from Houston.
Kathy Griffin,
not the comedian, the real Kathy Griffin.
I call on the phone. She'll answer and tell you right now that I kidnapped her. I saved her life. I saved her baby life.
Now, why'd you kidnap her?
Because she was gonna kill the baby. She was pregnant, and she was coming out my drug house. And I looked. I think I was in my limousine. Yeah, I was in my limousine. I looked. I jumped out the car, run over there. I said, ma'am, where you get them drugs from? And she pointed at my place. I run in there. Tire. I whooped 3 of them. So, man, I said, nigga, you don't sell no drugs, no pregnant woman. So I shut down. I stopped selling drugs. I couldn't do it. The ministry was in me, and I didn't know it until I seen Kathy. I didn't give a damn about no more money. I had enough money to live forever anyhow. I had over $100 million. So I was going into real estate. And I got Kathy. I put her in the car. I took them on my house. I put burglar bars around the house. I stayed there, paid them overnight to stay there, put the burglar bars on it. I took her telephone where she couldn't call nobody. I bought her $500, $600 food. I put Farrakhan on the tape, and I left her ass there.
And so you left her there for 30 days. When you came back, what type of condition was she in?
She's in good condition. One of my lady friends helped her ran away. The second or third week, she got away. One of my girls, Kathy was pretty. Oh, Kathy was pretty than Beyonce.
You ain't got to tell me.
Yeah, Kathy, yeah. She was off the chain. Yeah. So, and me and her never been together. It wasn't about how pretty she was. She was pregnant with a D, and she was finna smoke that dope. And I thought about me killing that baby. I'm like, damn, I'm a part of this. I never snapped, to the end. So she had the baby. Miracle. She had, yeah.
So not only what you're saying, if I'm correct here, what you're saying is that not only did you catch your snap in that moment for her about to use drugs to inadvertently kill her baby, but you caught your snap overall and said, this is bad for my people.
Yeah.
And you stopped right then and
I
there.
woke up right there.
So at that point, how much money were you making a day?
I don't want to lie
Oh,
with
yeah.
it. I had international players on. I had 2 sportsmen on Cavalcade. I bought a mansion and turned it to international players. Then I had a basement up under the house. It's still there. It has a basement up under the house, and I had a sign out there, international players, because people flying in from everywhere. And I had some of the prettiest women there cocktailing, not to sell no sex. Now, if one of them left with them and they married or whatever they did, I had nothing to do with it. I don't get no money on it or nothing, because I had my own women. My wife was from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Her name was India. I was good. I had another one from Chicago, so I was too deep. I was cool. So, make a long story short, then I bought the place Marie had, right down the street, on the same street, Cavalcade.
Oh,
where
I
she
thought
got
that place was on Titwell.
No, her club is on Tidwell.
Okay.
My Oyster Club.
Okay.
She had an after hour.
Right.
Yeah, she got busted. The football players got busted coming out of there. It was all over the TV. They were smoking crack cocaine coming out of Marie Place. So the place was hot. So Maria...
Yeah. Hold on a second. That phone is buzzing. There's something going on. If you can move it off the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to make a long story short, I bought the place from her.
Okay.
And I reopened it because I had the power. I ain't care what no media said. But I went to the white folks and bought the license. I had sportsman license. They gave me the license. I was paying them. They gave me sportsman license because nobody come in. But the members to the sportsman license. Only white folks had that in the Woodlands and River Oaks. They gave us them license.
So I'm still looking for the answer when I ask you how much money were you making?
I don't know what it is.
Can you give me a guesstimate?
I had Acres Home.
Money.
I know. I got to think what I did. I bought Acres Home. I bought the whole strip center in Acres Home. I was getting like $25,000, $30,000 a day out there. Almost $50,000 a day on Friday and Saturday. I was getting 10 or 20 a day on Cavalcade. Then on the weekend, Willie D, sometimes I make over anywhere from $50,000 to $200,000 a day. On the weekend, it would go all the way up because Friday, Saturday, it's big. So, and then I had the strip center in South Park, Sophisticated Lady. So I had 4 drug places going at one time. So that's why I made so much money, because they told me I couldn't come on the Acres Home. They tried to kill me out there.
So conservatively speaking, you were somewhere in the neighborhood of north of $30 million a year, at that rate. If it was 100,000, if you take that,
I did.
If you go on the low, you're talking about
30, 50 million.
Yeah.
Because when I quit, I had way over 100 million.
Yeah.
I quit. I ain't know how much money I had. I had like 30, 40 duffel bags.
And what happened to that money?
Shit, you know what they did?
They took it all.
Yeah, they run in one of my places. I had hid, and I know I was legit. So that's why I wasn't trying to do nothing, because I could have put it on the ground. They got some underground stuff. I could have been done that and put it in a safe, like somebody got a mansion over there with a safe now. I ain't call it name, you know what I'm talking about. But then I make a long story short, I was out the game with it for 2 years, so I got a children's foundation. I'm working with churches and saving children's life in Fort Ward. I bought a club, took the alcohol out, and opened up a club and had dancers and everything. I'm out the game. When I kidnapped Kathy Griffin, that's why she the biggest prostitute, helping women and stuff. She got the key to the jail. She got a place.
Biggest former prostitute.
Yeah, former prostitute. She ain't no prostitute no more.
Right.
She was never a prostitute. She was acting a prostitute. She's a child of God. So she was never a prostitute. I just taught in 2 of her classes. I taught the women, y'all was never a prostitute. You was acting out something you're not.
What do you say to people who are going to say, see, man, that's the problem right there, coming up with these different narratives and semantics when a prostitute is a prostitute. If you're selling your body, you're a prostitute.
No, you're not.
Are you redefining what a prostitute is?
I'm speaking what's in the Bible. In the Bible, when Rahab hid the 3 men of God, All the people there, lawyers, doctors, and everybody, God didn't trust nobody but the so-called prostitute Rahab. She hid the 3 men of God on top of the house. When the police come in, she lied. She the first one to lie to get blessed. She lied. And when the men came down, Solomon said, for you lying and saving our life, I'm going to marry you. That's where Boaz come from. Boaz came from Rahab, a so-called prostitute. Was she prostituting? Yes, she was prostituting, but that don't make her a prostitute. So these little pastors and these little ministers, they don't know what the hell they talking about. I teach them. They can't teach me with it. I did 10 years in prison studying. I studied up on the Malcolm X and Minister Farrakhan. That's why we was able to take 2 million men to the Million Man March. We have the supreme wisdom of God.
Okay, so I just want to be clear about this. So if you're prostituting, it don't make you a prostitute. What if you lie? If you lie, are you a liar?
You're not a liar.
What are you?
You're taking place of a liar. Okay, Jesus said in John 44, you're not of my father. You're of your father, the devil. The individual wasn't the devil. His act was the devil. Jesus said, you of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you should do is a murder bold, not in the truth. Then answer the Jews. The Jews been trying to get that out the Bible, trying to be spending billions of dollars because they call Jesus a Beelzebub and demonic. Jesus said, you of your father, the devil. Like right now, if I steal your truck.
You're not a thief.
Huh? I made a thief move. This is what I'm saying. When you born, you weren't born a thief.
Right.
We took on these characteristics. Gangbangers, I'm a thug, I'm a pimp, we take on names that don't come from God. This is Americanized buffoonery. Like religion has come from religiosity. It's man-made schism. We sound like gangbangers. I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim. It's 24 different Baptists, so which one are you? It's 7 different Methodists, which one are you? It's 6 different Muslims, which one? So we sound like children because we lost Christmas, Easter, Valentine, all these pagan holidays. Anything to distract us, them telephone. That's one of the biggest distractors in the world, that iPhone 16, 17. It's all a con game. And the television is one-eyed idiot bot. So the worst thing they ever did was send Johnny Biden to prison. They should have kept me out here and killed me. When I went to prison, I did what Malcolm did.
Sharp.
I started studying.
Yeah.
That's why I told you that night, you jammed me in front of Doug, and I'm glad you did. I said, the rappers need to do this, they need to do this. You said, well, what you gonna do? And I started telling you what I'm already doing, and you looked at me like, I didn't know you were doing all that. Yeah, I've been saving lives, brother, since I've been home.
Man, talk about your relationship with Dougie Fresh, one of my good dudes.
Doug saved my life. I will owe Doug the rest of my life. You brought tears in my eyes when you said it. I never knew Doug was up under the Nation of Islam. I never knew he was that smart. He was 21 years old when he took the witness stand. Dougie Fresh, because I was finna do a whole rap concert, so I told my son, the pastor now, I said, I don't want no rappers. And no disrespect to you. Mm-hmm. I don't want a rapper calling no women bitches and hoes. I was in the ministry then. The ministry kept popping up on me, but I didn't know it. You know, I'm Johnny Biden, you know. But the ministry kept popping me in the face. And he had did a song, All the Way to Heaven. And that song was crazy. You know, he coming out of heaven in the all the clouds. And I seen that. I said, son, send for him. He wanted 5,000. I sent him 10,000. I said, come on down. So I became his road manager, and 2 years later, we was on tour with Rakim, Kumo D, LL Cool J. We're doing a Say No to Drugs tour. I get indicted while I'm doing the Say No Drugs tour. I'm in Miami when they call me and say, hey man, they finna indict you. My DA agents. I say, what? They gonna indict you with Marie. I said, you serious? Yeah. He said, you need to fly and talk to me. So I flew in, I met him at the airport, went with him, they sit down and showed me the paperwork. I said, man, I ain't doing this. So I got about $200,000, got some of my jewelry, got in the rental car, and I went to California, stayed in California. And then Warner Brothers called me, they wanted Cynthia, because Cynthia got out saying Whitney Houston. So I'm finna get a $5 million contract on Cynthia. So when I went in, the feds called the record company and told them, don't sign Cynthia, because she was tied to me. That's the one made my ocean what it was. Cynthia Roberts, one of the greatest singers I ever saw. So that's why all that stuff was going on. So Dougie Fresh found out I got locked up. I called him, I got out on $500,000 bond. I said, Doug. He said, God damn, man, what happened, man? I said, man, I've been out the game, Doug. I got indicted with Marie. He said, what you want me to do? I said, Doug, you want to come down and testify, man. Tell them how I built this company through you and Diamond Production. He said, Rap Loud Records, they the biggest rap. Y'all the biggest rap. I had Rhythm and Blues. Doug's the first one I ever brought in there from rap, him and Curtis Blow. No doubt, y'all the biggest in rap. Nobody in Texas could beat you, Rap Loud, Carface, all of y'all. I even had Bushwick. Yeah, so to make a long story short, I had Charlie Wilson Gap Band, Dougie Fresh, Kool Moe Dee, and Heaven. Heaven won the Star Search, whatever you call it. So I was making a bunch of money with music, over $1 million every 6 months. So I was good. I quit with over 100 million, so I'm good. And then when they re-indicted me with Marie, that's when the stuff started. And Marie come to my mama's house, and you the first one I'm telling all this. The other people, but I want you to help me with this movie. But Marie come to my mama's house and say, well, what you gonna do? That's what you gonna do. You gonna talk on me? I said, if you was a man, I'd knock you out. Fuck you means excuse me, I'm gonna talk on you. Nigga, I ain't no snitch. I'd rather be dead than be a goddamn snitch. I would never have to feds do nothing. Don't you, get away from me. So she went in front of my mama. Later on, she apologized. So I did a 4-month trial with her. 300 witnesses, 9 lawyers. I went in 1988, September 28. I got out in 1998, September 18, 10 days for 10 years.
How many witnesses?
300 witnesses.
300 witnesses. How long did the trial last?
4 months. We had the longest trial in the state of Texas.
Yeah, you said that.
Cullen Davis number 2, the millionaire. But Dougie Fresh took the witness stand for 2 days. They went after Doug, brother. They went after Doug like he was Johnny Cochran. How you know? And Doug answered everything, man. Doug was a vegan. He don't eat no meat, no nothing. I stopped eating. I started eating salads and vegetables because everywhere we go, we wouldn't eat no meat. I'm like, I had been off pork and beef, but I was eating chicken, turkey, and fish. So I said, Doug, why won't you? He would never tell me. I said, Doug, why won't you eat meat? Because Doug look like he's 35 right now. So I said, Doug, why don't you? He would never tell me. He's just not told me. But I figured it out myself when I was in prison, when I started following Malcolm X. So Doug was one of the best friends of my life. His mother died, His dad is still alive. He's a Moore Sign Temple. So other than that, Doug is just like my son, Dougie Fresh.
When we talk about the game, and we've had so many casualties, man, a lot of collateral damage. We talk about a lot about how much we gained. We talk about, the cars, the fur coats, the jewelry, the women, which I've seen you have all of that stuff.
I had more than anybody.
You had all the trappings of life. I witnessed that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we talk often about the things that we gain in the game. But what I want to know is not what you gained or even what you lost, but who you lost.
Good question. To take my mother through what I took her, and the police run up at my mama's house, went in the safe, couldn't get in the safe, called me, wanted me to open the safe. And my mother signed over $6 million when I was coming home. Ken Schaefer tricked her to sign some papers because I was going to use that money to get up on real estate. When I came home with it, I ain't have nothing. And I was mad at my mama for a while, but I thought about it. I said, God didn't want me to have nothing. And if I had to do it all over again, the only part I don't like is what I took my mother through. Because she crying and hollering. She got to go to church. They saying your son the biggest drug dealer. That's a whole lot I put on her.
Did you bury a part of your spirit while you were in there to get through what you were going through? Because you went from being, the big dog out on the streets, having everything that a person could possibly want in terms of material possessions, similar to kind of what Diddy is going through, where he had everything that a person could possibly want, material-wise. And then next thing you know, he's in a cell, a regular jail cell, eating slop just like everybody else and being told what to do by sometimes people that were younger than him. And he got to now abide by a different code and a whole different set of rules. You know, like so how did you navigate through that? You know,
You the first person on the planet Earth that's ever asked me that. You are super spiritual. I never thought you asked me that. That's deep. Brother, Willie D, it was hard because when another man tell you to bend over, spread your cheeks, cough, raise your leg, I say, man, take me to the hole. I'm naked talking to him, but finna fight. They're gonna need about 7, 8 of them, because I fought 7 police officers before. Yeah, and they jumped me. I didn't know the police. I'll tell you about that in a minute. On Lockwood and 10. So, over a woman that I didn't know they wanted. But to make a long story short, the police said, what's wrong? I say, I'm naked. You asked me to spread my cheeks. That was too much. I did that. I bent over. Now you asked me to cough and raise my leg. I ain't doing it. I spread my cheeks. You can look up my ass, because people putting stuff in their butt when they go to the visiting room. But we ain't at no visiting room, so now what? So they put me in the hole for about 6 months, you know. And the ward come, man, you gonna ever come out? I say, boy, and I just ain't. I got the Quran and the Bible. I'm good. Because I was number 1 baseball player throughout the season. I still went to the pro. So the wards, I tell you what, come on. Just bend over, spread your cheeks. They take your manhood. They take you back to slavery. And then they try to trick me to pick cotton. And when I was in Ellis, they have you doing a hand thing, saying how fast your hand is to pick the cotton. And then when Major Blanchett come to me to go pick cotton, I said, well, do what? You going out to the field? I said, man, I ain't going to no field, man. Well, Major Blanchett whoop you. I said, well, then the easy talk done. Come on in here, I'll come out, and we can sign some papers, because he done whooped everybody. He's a big white boy. He done whooped everybody, but I knew he wasn't going to whoop me. You know, he's stronger than me, but I know what he missed. Yeah, I'm going to get him. So to make a long story short, I never had to pick the cotton, because a dude, I let him wear my ring, and he took me to the clinic and say my back was messed up. So I got a 30-day pass. And then for the 30 days up, I went again. So Blanchett was mad because he couldn't get to me. So the next time I got ready to get a pass, I ain't have to get it. I'm a master brick mason, Johnny Binder Son Construction Company. They was building a new prison down there for the women in Gatesville, and they asked me to go. I said, hell yeah, I'll go. I signed my paper. I went to prison where the women was. That's how I got out of it.
That I want to go back to the part.
But it's humiliating being in prison.
And that's what I want to get back to. That whole piece about
stand up and count,
spreading your ass, bending over, and all that kind of stuff.
That's the worst part, though.
So here's the thing. So they say the reason why they do that is because people put stuff up their butt during visitation. But the thing is, if they really wanted to, like, regulate that, they could. They could make sure none of that ever happens.
That's fair.
I do believe that it's just one of those things that they do to dehumanize you.
Slavery.
You know, to humiliate you.
Yeah.
I think they do this type of stuff. Purposely. Just like they allow rape to happen.
They rape in
purposely.
prison. You can't get no case in prison. You can rape in prison, you don't get no case.
And some of them actually participate. That's one part that people don't talk about. The guards themselves also participate in raping inmates.
They walk away.
Yeah.
They bring drugs in.
Yeah.
I had an officer told me, he said, you want me to run for you? He said, I know you're going to tell me, let me run for you. I said, I'm out the game. In Bastrop, right outside Austin.
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, I ain't. So after I was in there for 2 years, we won all the baseball and all that. The warden called me to the office. Johnny Bonner? I said, yeah, come to the office. I go to the office, get in there. 3 DA agents. Charlie Mathers, one of them just died from Washington, D.C. DHS, I've run them over. So they brought some from down there. And they said, boy, we can't find you doing nothing. We're going to make up something on you. That's when they stopped me over 1986 in front of the Esterdome and had me out there 4 hours in my Rolls Royce, my limousine. And I had just took Charlie Wilson Gap Band to the airport because he'd have been in there. But I say get the keyboard and the rest of the stuff. So they on my phone listening, so they think they got me. They think they got me. Get the keyboard and the rest of the stuff.
Right.
I'm talking about the real keyboard and the stuff hooked to it.
Right.
For Cynthia Roberts. I had 3 women in the car. They did a body cavity search, made them get butt naked, and the woman put a glove on, went in their vagina, their booty, all that. Oh, it was crazy out there. They took my limousine, made it out of a search thing. They could have took us to the police station and did that. They did it right there on the scene. Wayne Delfino took the witness stand for me. Wayne Delfino was there, the Jewish guy.
I know who he is.
Yeah, we was out there 4 hours. They couldn't find nothing. They ain't found a matchstick. Only thing they found was $25,000 the state had gave me for the lawsuit of me doing 3 years in prison for robbing a jewelry store.
I got a correction I want to make before we go any further.
Come on.
About something that you said.
Please.
You talked about Cynthia being a better singer than Whitney Houston. I rebuke that.
You can rebuke it all you want, but the Warner Brothers, when you hear her music,
I do not believe nobody
Say,
is colder than Whitney.
I fell in love with Whitney Houston. I ministered to Whitney Houston for 3 weeks. Bobby slapped her. We was at the restaurant, and I couldn't grab him because I was opening the door. He was smart. We leaving the restaurant, I opened the door, and he slapped her. And then I grabbed him. I run him against the wall. You know, I said, nigga, what you doing? The Nation Islamic called me in. Out of all the ministers, they wanted me to minister to Whitney. So I went in, and Whitney went to Sherelle's house, a singer. She had about a $12 million mansion. We went out there. Sherelle gonna be in my movie. We went out there, and Bobby begged her to come back. She said, no, nigga, you'll never slap me again. She said, in public? I mean, he slapped brother. He almost slapped the teeth out of him out. And I wanted to whoop him so bad. And I told him, nigga, if you ever do that in front of me again, I said, I'm gonna down you. I'm gonna down you. So if you think I'm playing, I'll knock you out right now. Yeah, because I didn't like him. And she said, no, I don't want nothing to do with you. She left. So I'm standing there, you know, Whitney and Bobby. Because Bobby used to be my man till I seen all this. And I'm standing there, and Sherelle looking at me and Whitney Houston right there, said, you come back and get me. Willie D, I ain't never looking for that. You come back and get me. I'm with you. Dude, my whole head went off. That's the woman of my life. I wasn't feeding on this man's wife, but I ain't never thought she was gonna say that. And she was giving me $20 million philanthropist to her angel. She had an angel or something, but she was giving it to me. So she called Minister Farrakhan. Minister Farrakhan said, you can give it to him. He got all my captains, Captain Curtis, Captain Dennis, Captain Khalib, that's here, with him. So he good. Give it to him. So the next day, before she give me the money, Bobby Slapper, the philanthropist, get upset because it hit the newspaper, and he leave and don't give Whitney the 20 to give to me. Because I already bought 40 acres in Atlanta. I already had 122 acres in Houston on a megastat off Kickapoo before you get to Prairie View. So I was already setting up a girls and boys home since I've been home with Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown.
Man, how do you remember all this shit? I mean, you and Ali Sadiq got the greatest fucking memories I know, man. How do you remember so much stuff and in detail?
I can't remember it all, but the certain parts, the big parts that I was in love with Whitney, and I supposed to went back and got her. If I went back and got her, she'd be alive right now. Bobby wouldn't leave my room. We was in the Carlton, West Carlton Hill, whatever that Carlton costs $400 a night, the Carlton Hotel in Atlanta. So Carlton, whatever it is. So I should have called a captain. I should have called a captain to come get Bobby out or keep Bobby in the room, let me go get Whitney. Whitney mama wrote in the Globe magazine, I don't give a damn if you're a gangster. I don't care what he is. I want him with my daughter, because when he with my daughter, she get off drugs. That's in the Globe magazine. So they say Whitney and Minister Jeremiah Johnny Bond the weekend hotel stay. Well, me and Whitney never had no sex. We was in the hotel, yes we was, but we ain't never did nothing. But she did choose me to be her husband. And if I'd have went back and got her, I was gonna take her out the country and keep her for 1 year. I was gonna take the MGTs with me to clean up, get off drugs, keep off drugs. Then I was gonna bring her back, but I was gonna tell them I was married to her. I was gonna tell them I was a bodyguard because I wanted her to finish her career. My name was too gangsterish, so I didn't want to put my name on her like that.
You're talking about the Ritz-Carlton, right?
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the one in L.A. That's why
In Buckner.
Nah, I ain't gonna say it. But anyway, yeah, I like the one in L.A. I like Ritz-Carlton.
So that
yeah.
if it don't be for the nation, I never got there. They chose me to go minister to Whitney. Out of all thousands of ministers, they said, well, you the only one that had a music company, you with Dougie Fresh, Charlie Wilson Gap Band, you was the biggest gangster. So when they got through adding it up, they didn't want nobody to go with me. They called me and said, hey, we want you to go and minister Whitney. I say, what? I say, what? Like that.
Yeah. Your daddy was a construction company owner, right? He owned a construction company.
We was poor for a minute.
He taught you about
Johnny Banner's son
masonry.
construction company.
Right. He taught you. And he died in 82, right? Was that 82?
82. How you know? He born in 82.
Well, you know.
May 1st or 2nd, yeah, he died.
Yeah.
Eating bad food.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was the official cause of death?
Yeah, too much grease around his heart and all that.
So he died of a
bad
heart
food.
attack?
Yeah, he sit there, he couldn't breathe. He was in the bed with my mama. My mama was in the kitchen. He got out the bed, wrote a letter about grocery. I had 18 years in prison. They said I robbed a jewelry store. I was in Dallas. I brought 5 people back, proved that I didn't rob a jewelry store. One white boy said I robbed it. They gave me 18 years.
And you ended up doing how many years on
I did
that?
3 years.
3
and then I got a full pardon from Governor Mark White through the Judge O'Keegan.
When that happened, you wasn't selling drugs at the time. You was legit.
That's what made me go gangster.
Yeah.
So you never asked me. I've been waiting to tell you. I was a square. I had a construction company. I had 35, 40 men, 10 trucks. I was making $10,000, $15,000. I'm 16, 17, 18 years old.
So when that happened, everything that you had heard about this government and how they do black folks and set black men up to go down and, with these fake cases and stuff, it hit you like a sack of bricks.
Yeah,
and
it changed my whole trajectory. I thought the government, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was a square. I thought the government would try you, and if you're innocent, you go home.
Right.
But when them 5 witnesses took, and one of them was a security guard at the hotel, and one white woman in a wheelchair that's a millionaire, these people, and Dorothy Luck and Linda Luck, they did my hair. I had that Jerry curl, big diamond in my mouth. Mm-hmm. I lost my mind. Teddy Pendergrass beard. I was crazy. So
we all were.
I was crazy to you. You were a little crazy. You was a little fool. I was a damn big old fool. I was the biggest fool in Texas. So and I take that. But that's why God using me now. Me and you can save children's lives by opening up vocational schools. That's after I do my movie. That's what I'm gonna be on you about. We need to open up vocational schools where they can be plumbers, electricians, welders, and get these guns out their hand. Idle Mile, the devil workshop. We need to give our children something to do. We don't need to wait on the government to do it. We can do it. We're the D. Johnny Bond, all of us rappers, all the people that got money. We can do it. Stop waiting for people to save our children. I almost said something. Our goddamn children, and save my goddamn self. Stop it. Jesus said, suffer little children, forbid them not, let them come unto me. He said, if you hurt one of these, you're going to put a milestone around your neck and be thrown in the deepest sea. So if we don't give a damn about our children and our women, then we ain't nothing. We're a punk-ass nigga. If you don't care about your wife, your woman, and your children, you ain't shit. And I said that.
Yeah, I often see you uplifting black women. You uplift women in general, but specifically, you have an affection for black women, a deep love for black women. Why so? And I say that because, there's a number of people that you can find online that don't. I mean, black guys who got a problem with black women. And I understand that there are black women who can justify that disappointment that they have in them, but why is it that you give so much grace?
Thank you. I did not know that 75% of the teaching Malcolm X had been in was of a woman. And Master Fard Muhammad has a white mother and a black father. So it's talking about the nation say white folks, that's a lie. Because the man that brought it to Honorable Elijah Muhammad had a white mother and a black father. And he looked white. So all that's a lie. But anyhow, 75% of the teachings is of the woman. In the Quran, it asks the Muslim, who you love. He say, my mother. 3 times he said, my mother. The father didn't come to the 4th time. The black woman, and been proven by Dr. Milner and Leakey that the black woman is the mother of earth. She the most powerful woman on the planet Earth because she commits suicide less than anybody on the planet. So I seen my daddy leave my mama. And I wasn't but like 14, 15, 16, and I couldn't understand it. And my mama crying and going over that. So I'm trying to hold myself together while I'm talking to you about that. I don't even talk about this. You the first person I'm going to talk about it with. But anyhow, to make a long story short, and I started looking at women, I'm like, damn. And then I went to prison and got in the nation, and 75% of their teachings are the woman. The black woman's the mother of earth. All life comes from her. She got melanin skin. She don't have, she's dominant, she's not recessive. And I went to think about all the women been in my life, and don't be for them, I wouldn't be who I was. Besides Dougie Fresh and Charlie Wilson. But Doug done more for me than anybody. So India Cross, my first wife, was in the street. My square wife, Jackie Felix, okay, when I had my son. So to make a long story short, that's how it happened. So I started loving women because I made the mistake to not know who they were. And then women started investing in me, and we started doing business deals. I became a millionaire through women. Dudes was always jealous of me, you know. I don't know why. I don't look like Prince. I got a flat nose. So I don't know why they're so jealous of me, but they are. To this day, they jealous of me. I deal with more women now. 80% of my staff is women, 20% men. For whatever reason. I don't know why. I really don't give a hell. But all these men going to these white women, I want to ask them one question. What color is your mother? So what you telling your mother? There's no woman, qualified black, all the beautiful black, intelligent women we got, you couldn't find one? So I'm with Omar John. I'm Dr. Omar. I don't believe in that. I believe a black man ought to go get a black woman and lift her up because the black woman been through more hell than anybody in the world. So when you lift that woman up, you're lifting up your mother. So why would you, who just did this on TV? He said the first thing he did when took it, Felix, this Spanish dude, he got a tax company. A day trade company. His company. And he made $1 million. He called his mama. He didn't call his wife. He called his mama. She was at Amazon somewhere. Hey, what you doing? Yeah, I just made $1 million. Yeah, I want you to stop work. She didn't let the shift stop. She quit right there. She didn't wait till 5 o'clock that evening. Bought a house, car. She rich right now. He rich right now. He worth about $8 million. So that's how I think. And we can prove it in no limit of time. The woman is the second self of God. You the first self of God. So when you put the woman and the man together, consciously, not Americanly, but consciously, that's the only way you can be complete. There's no other completion. God made that purposely. A man is incomplete without a woman. That's why when God seen Adam, he say, it's not good for you to be alone. Not an American woman, but a woman of God. Not a Russian woman, but a woman of God. When you get a woman of God, she everything you need, she gonna pump you. She gonna pray on you. She gonna love you. She gonna open up doors for you. The same thing Malcolm X's wife did, Betty Shabazz.
Let's say a brother hook up with a sister, and he does exactly what you just say. He elevates her, right? Mm-hmm. He lifts her up, and he invests in her, and he's faithful to her and everything. Mm-hmm. And then she steps out on him, or she decides that, you know what, even though you're doing all of that, I don't like this submissive thing that you're talking about. And then she steps out on him, or she basically, she goes, and then from there she wants to ruin his life. She decides, you know what, I'm going to also hit you for some child support. I'm taking the kids. I want some alimony. How do you impress upon the man to not be bitter toward all black women because of that one black woman, or even maybe he struck out 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 or 5 times, maybe 6 or 7 times,
Let me say this.
maybe 8 or 9 times. How do you impress upon him not to be bitter towards all black women?
All right. Russell, I'm going to have to use your name, and so I hope you don't get upset. Russell Simmons, personal friend of mine. We toured for 1 year, get out to vote, started in New Orleans, came to Houston, Dallas, then L.A. I seen his wife, father, over about North Side. He knew who I was. I'm coming out in the suit, I'm sharp, I'm finna get in my car. And me and him sitting, he's talking about, yeah, I trained my daughter to woo, 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 woo. You train your daughter to do what? To deal with rich men and woo, woo, woo. I said, who's your daughter? He called Russell's wife. I said, the lady got baby fat? Yeah. So I played dumb. I said, okay. I run. Say, Russ, yeah. Say, man, you got some paperwork where she can't take all your money? A norm or something, man? He said, what you talking about, man? I said, woman married you to give you 2 babies, man. I said, I'm telling you, she gonna quit you, man. About a year later, he didn't believe me, but a year later, she left with baby fat, and I think he gave her like 100-something million, 200 million, 200 about 50 million. He gave her about 20-25% of baby fat. Them women, brother, that was never loved. She never loved him. She got with him for money. When you got a woman that's a gold digger, a platinum digger, they get with you for money. But most women, what you talking about, they ain't gonna do that no how. I had a woman run off with my money, all my stuff, but that don't make me bitter with all other women, because all other women ain't done that. I can't be ignorant enough to believe that all women would do what this woman done. So that don't turn me. I had a woman rob me for $1 million, and since I've been home. I could have killed her. I could have had a whole lot of stuff I could have did. I did nothing. Went to court. Now I'm going to go back to court. I'm going to win my house back. I'm gone. So no woman can turn me against women. And when somebody do that, it was already in you. You already had a bit of thing in you for the woman, because you can't deal with it. That's why all these rich white boys, black boys marry these women like Wesley Snipes. They want to be able to tell a woman what to do, kiss me, lick me. They don't want no challenge. They want some rollover female. They don't want a woman that's going to challenge them, but that ain't what the Bible say. In Peter's 3 husband and wife, the woman is just as much powerful as the man. Not this way, but this way. And God said, do not do that to her. And number 7, God said, deal with her with knowledge and wisdom. That's in Peter's 3 husband and wife.
When you say challenge her, challenge him, challenge sounds a little like sounds a little aggressive. Challenging me, like when I hear the word challenge, just for clarity, give me an example of when a woman challenges a man in a good way.
Thank you. And the young rappers need to hear this. Gangbangers, all of them, we love them. Just got to get them back to God. When a woman challenges you the good way, she's trying to get you either to get your GED, she's trying to get you to get in a class where you can be a brick mason, a plumber, electrician, welder. She's trying to bring you out because she see you're going to get killed. She see one day you ain't going to come home, so she's challenging you. They got a tape out, this black sister. And she got up in her man's face, and she said, you can do it. Because he was saying, I ain't getting no job. And he had to use her car, so he felt less than a man. She said, take my car, take my last money. And she put a suit on him, and she looked him in the face. She said, I don't give a damn what happened. I got you. You go. I got you. And you keep going, and I keep backing you. After a while, you won't have to go no more. We'll own our own company. Them people own their own company. Here go Charlie Wilson Gap Band was a dope fiend. I had to get him out of dope houses, all kind of stuff. His wife was leaving the dope house. She was in the rehab house. She was making $25,000 a month. I took her to the mall. She met the regional minister, everybody. She powerful. Her daddy in the Muslim had a bunch of money. She spent $5 million on Charlie Wilson the Gap Band. Okay? Bought him the house, everything. To this day, they've been married about 25 years. And he's been off drugs 25 years. I started getting him off drugs. She finished. And I was a drug dealer when I give to him. I got him down to $20 a day. from 1,000. So what I'm saying to you, that woman took this man, called her son in, Mike, made him the manager. And they millionaires right now. Even when he caught colon cancer, she went and got Dr. Sabi stuff. She did everything she could to strip it out of him. And both of them together right now. So when you got a strong woman, Sister Tyson took Miles Davis. He was drunk, wouldn't blow the horn, drunk. She went and cleaned him up. Women can clean men up when the man want to be cleaned up. So that's the challenge that's positive. Every man that's going to be successful need a woman of God. That's his balance. He's unequally yoked. He because the Pope, a real Pope gonna do this here. He gonna walk up to the podium and say, I love all my priests, I love all of you. I'm the Pope now, right? Yeah. I want to go with God. Pope, what are you talking about? God made Adam and Eve. There's no such thing as being without a woman. That's why 85% of them got cases touching little boys. You can't take a man from a woman. You make him something that he's not. His natural thing in Romans 1, 25, 26, 27, God say, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship the creature instead of the creator? 26, women changed their natural use. 27, man burned in lust that they share for a woman. 28, God gave them to a reprobate mindset. And God said, all of you deserve death. So that's the world we in. You know, I don't want her no more, I want him. That's the world, that ain't God. So we are confused. So that's what's wrong with a lot of men. We have X and Y chromosomes, male and female. She have a double X. So we don't know who we are, whose we are, what we are. And we don't know our purpose with it, D.
Yeah.
We got the puppeteer and the puppet. Almost 90% of the people in America with it, D, are puppets. Don't because they got no. Look at Puffy. Puffy shouldn't have done none of that stuff he did. He was too rich. R. Kelly. He was too. We keep going the wrong way, and all our big people, they die. Michael Jackson shouldn't have never let that man put him to sleep. This punk down here in Acres Home, they put him to sleep purposely to kill him. He did 5 years. They gave him 25, 30 million. All this Prince, all this, because Prince went against the whole music and put slave on his thing, huh? Tupac gave what's his name up? Big boy that's in prison right now. His manager is Suge Knight. Suge Knight owed him 20-something million. All Suge had to do, Big West showed me the paperwork before he died. All Suge Knight had to do was just get a man $5 million at a time. Oh man, I'm wrong, huh? Here goes your money.
Who is Big West?
Big West worked with Al Heyman, all of them. He just died about 2 years ago. Big West was over all of them. Yeah, he just died, eating all that bad food.
Yeah. You talk about how you can't take a man from a woman. Let's talk about another take. What did the system take from you when they locked you up and gave you that time? Ian, I'm not just talking about that 10 years, but those 3 years where you were completely innocent.
Well, I was completely innocent on both of them. I had sold drugs and got out the game. I just paid for something I did. Me and Marie never sold no drugs.
Well, what I'm saying. Okay, so
me and Marie never sold no drugs.
So that's what they got you for.
See, people don't know that.
For something. So
I went to prison for Marie Preston.
So you went to jail on ghost dope charges. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So they didn't come get you for nothing you did. They came and associated you with somebody and said because she's involved in this. So I sit her right here. Next interview, I bring her with me. She'll sit here and tell you. So did Marie point the finger at you, or did they just say, "Look, we got her, and we want you too"? Yeah, no. This your friend.
When they got her, they put me with the case.
Right.
Because me and her was like this, the king and the queen.
Right. Okay.
But we was friends.
Yeah.
I bought her a strip center.
Yeah. So Marie never testified against you.
Hell no.
Okay.
Marie ain't testified against nobody. She's strong as me and you. No, sir. Matter of fact, she's the reason I got out. Yeah. She went to the parole board before me and told them that Johnny Binder never sold drugs with me. If you want to let somebody out, let him out and keep me in.
She said that?
You damn right she said that.
Go on, Marie. Goddamn, go on, Marie. Shit,
Marie
man.
is a warrior. I would look out for that woman for all the days of my life. Her and my son said the same thing. My son, Pastor Aaron Binder, told to parole board, My daddy has changed. Y'all can let him out or take me. Let him go. I want him to come home and teach and save his family. Her letter and Marie and Mr. Farrakhan sent word through Rob Muhammad, Aleem Muhammad now. Those 3 letters, they let me go. I got out 1998, September 18th. My mama come pick me up. The warden was crying when I was leaving. And my mama said, "Why you crying?" She said, "Your son was a Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. He made peace. He stopped all the killing. And when he leave, we don't know what we're going to do." And he said, "Would you come back once a month and would you write a newspaper for me? We need you." My mama was shocked. It ain't because I'm Johnny Viner. It's because I went in there and got the wisdom and knowledge that Malcolm X went got. I'm a scientist. I got a PhD. I got a doctorate in divinity from Pendleton Seminary School. I studied while I was in there. I wasn't playing no dominoes and check. I played chess. I didn't play dominoes. I played chess. I got chessboards all over my house. I play chess. That's the real game. It's real life. Because when you put the woman in the right place on the chessboard, you never get checkmated. The people that play chess that get checkmated, they never put the woman in the right place. If you put your queen in the right place, you never get checkmated because she's going to protect you.
So when we look at this system, we know that this system is corrupt. We know that this system is not for us. We know that this system is designed to destroy us.
That's a fact.
Why is it that, knowing all of that, we constantly allow ourselves to get caught up in the system anyway? And oftentimes, once we get caught up, only then do we catch our snap. But by the time we catch our snap, well, now we got a jacket on our back. We got these strikes, and now whatever we was trying to hustle for, you can say you was doing it for the kids, you was doing it for a better life for yourself and your woman. But at the end of the day, now it's even harder when you finish your sentence, or if you get punished and you finish your sentence. Now it's even harder. But you still got to make something pop. Why is it so difficult for many of us to just get it straight out the gate and just say, you know what, man, we really pretty much got to be the most law-abiding people in this country because, man, they got these laws set up to target us and make us
Purposely.
fail. Yeah, they actually target us. When they build prisons, they build prisons with us in mind. When they make these laws,
That's
they make
a fact.
these laws with us in mind.
They make $40 billion a year on prisons. They got 400 different products. The smartest people in the world is in prison. They make all the furniture you see. They make brooms. They make the bulletproof vests. All the race cars you see, they make the race cars in prison up in Wisconsin, Chicago. The model cars you see, they make them in prison. All the mattresses you see, they make them in Atlanta, called Unicore. They make over $40 billion a year in there. That's why I brought my note. I went through Unicore, but I would never work for them. And they sent me to 26 prisons in 6 years, put me on diesel therapy because they said I was a Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. I bring a Christian Muslim together under the one God, one faith, one baptism. I would show them in the Quran, the Bible. I'd knock them right out. Read it for yourself, read it for yourself. Oh, man, yeah, stop. Religion comes from religiosity. So they still got us in slavery mentally. That's why I just showed you the puppeteer and the puppet. So when I went to prison in 1979 for robbing a jewelry store for $1 million, and I was in Dallas, it messed my head up because my father got a construction company. I'm rich. I got a house next door to him. House paid for. Pay cash for it. I ain't need no money. My daddy rich. I come out of Fifth Ward on Erasmus and Nichols. Everybody keep thinking I was born in Sunnyside. I wasn't born no damn Sunnyside. I was born in Fifth Ward, the hard knocks. I come out of the Fifth, the nickel, me, from the Hester House. Huh?
Yeah,
1 block from Blackwood.
Yeah, you moved to Cloverland after y'all came up like the Jeffersons.
Thank you. After look at you, you're right. When my daddy got rich, he left because he didn't know he should have built all around there. But when I went out to Cloverland, and that's where it started at. And then when I got 15 years old, he gave me the construction company. He put up the Johnny Barnes Son Construction Company. I ran the whole construction company. I was a master brick mason at 13 years old. I was #1 baseball player in the whole system. I wanted to go play ball. I played shortstop and I hit the ball out the park. That's what I was doing. So to make a long story short, when we was in prison, and I was doing the 3 years, a dude named, I told you his name, the white boys called my lawyer and said, hey man, Johnny Bond didn't rob that jewelry store. So what? I got the evidence. I'm a DA. I quit. I'm going to Fort Bend. I would never be a DA again in Harris County. Harris County is too dirty. They'll send too many black people to prison that's innocent. And Johnny Bonner, one of the biggest one that went. My lawyer called me and said, man, get $20,000 together. I had run out of money. So my daddy died while I was in there. So I had a girl who started hustling for me, trying to get money and sell stuff, not drugs, but she was selling furniture or whatever. So she got it, and we went to court. The girl, Marie Terrell, took the witness stand and said, me, I robbed a jewelry store. Told them the details. They took a lot of text. She passed it. So Judge O'Keegan said, well, I can't let you go, Johnny Bond. I said, why? She said, the Fifth Circuit got your case. We can't let you go. I said, but that ain't what you told me. You told me if I proved to you I didn't rob that jewelry store, you let me go. She said, I did. And I will. She said, I'm going to jail for you. She said, I don't have the right to release you. I love this white woman more than any white woman on the planet. She said, call your mama.
So did she end up in jail?
No.
Because I know she released you.
She released me. Watch this. They took the handcuffs off me. I dialed the phone. My mom was screaming through the phone. So they had the whole Thanksgiving on TV when I got home. So they finna put the handcuffs on me and take me back across the street. She said, no, walk him across the street. I said, Judge, we can't do that. She said, this is my courtroom? Yeah, he free. Walk him across the street. Give me I said, Your Honor, I ain't got to even have it. Was there over there they can have it? She said, no, you got ID out. So I went over there.
Get up out that bad boy.
Yeah, I've been locked up 3 years. I thought 3 years was 300 years. I ID'd, they pictured me. I come out, my mama and everybody was there. Then I worried about her. I'm like, man, how can I help her? Governor Mark White, a good governor. Thank God he was a good governor. He come in, say what you did was right. I'm going to stand with you. Gave me a full pardon. I had been locked up 41 times. They took all my cases off, all of them, and gave me a full pardon. Governor Mark White. But I'm still crazy now because they done locked me up. So I got a problem with the system now. And when I met Johnny Hickman was selling heroin. And he had a lot of money. I'm like, damn, what you doing? And my brother was smoking crack. So I'm trying to open the construction coming back up, right? But I'm looking at all this junk going on. Johnny, what you doing? This nigga getting like 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a day. I would never sell heroin. It'd kill you right on the spot. Wet water, all that crazy stuff. I say, Johnny, you gonna make me some money. Then my brother owed the Colombians money. So now I got to do something to pay him because they're gonna kill him. Okay?
How much did he owe him?
About 125,000. He was working for him or something, kept smoking the dope, messing it off and all that. Kenneth, he dead. He died up in prison of epilepsy fit. They didn't give him his medicine purposely to let him die.
How long did it take you to pull the money together?
Huh?
How long did it take you to pull the money together?
3 months, 2 months, 3 months, because I didn't know what I was doing. I ain't never sold no drugs.
And how did you buy that time from the Colombians? Because they want.
No, after we got through doing what we did, I told them, wait a minute, y'all selling, yeah. I said, well, you ain't selling drugs to nobody no more but me. They started laughing at me like I was a little punk.
You talking about after you paid them off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they looked at me.
But how did you buy that time? Because 3 months is a long time to owe that kind of money.
I was paying on it as I go.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
okay.
you smart.
Yeah.
I was paying. No, they weren't gonna wait.
Right.
They weren't gonna kill them.
Right.
I was paying on 10,000, 12,000, 20,000. Every time I win, I keep a little bit for myself.
Right.
And my mama knew something was going on. You ain't opened this construction company yet. I'm opening it. I'm going to give me 5 or 6 trucks, get them in. Because all the companies going to give me the contract because they know my father and me. But I never got to it, you know, it's in the back of my head. You know it's in my head. These crackers done locked me up, robbed the jewelry store I didn't rob. So, you know, they called for it, here I am. And that's how I got in that junk. So after I did that, they told me, brother, you don't have enough money to do the south side and north side. You'd have to come up with $4-5 million and be responsible for all this. And if you don't, then we'll kill you and your whole family. So you gonna put yourself in that kind of box with us? I said, yes, sir. He looked at me. It was about 6 of them. He said, you know what you're saying? Yes, sir. You gonna put your family? I said, brother, my word bond. What I have to come up with? He said, bring me $1 million. I'm gonna give you the south side first. Give me another $1 million, I'm gonna give you the north side. I did it. I'm gonna let nobody get no drugs that come through me. So the niggas went told on me. I ain't gonna get the name up. I just found this out a year ago. They went to the feds and told them Johnny Bonner got all the drugs. Yeah, some drug dealers.
Were you? Where were you when things was going on between Smitty and Hickman and Johnny Hickman?
I was in prison. I'd have stopped it. I raised both of them. Smitty was my dude. That's why he bought a Rolls Royce like mine, bought a Benz like mine. I gave Smitty, he still cars, him and Larry.
Right,
and
I don't know Larry, but I know Smitty.
They stole cars, man.
Yeah.
They stole cars.
Oh, I know what Smitty did.
Them niggas steal cars, man. They steal cars.
Yeah.
So to make a long story short, Smitty come to me, say, hey, man. I said, man, come on, man. You don't want to get in this, man. Man, if you don't put me down. I said, no, Smitty, you don't want to get in this because I'm finna get out. Never know I was going to meet Captain Griffin because I wasn't finna get out right then, but I was going to get out. But after I met Captain, I got out that night. So make a long story short, babe, this phone bothers me. Make a long story short, I went on Gate Smitty some drugs. And he started rolling, wouldn't pay me. And I called him, I said, Smitty, what you doing? Man, I'm gonna get with you, man. You know, he's strong, youngster, knockout artist. But he forgot I was a knockout artist before he was. I said, dude, you know, I can send for you. Smitty, don't do that, man. Man, I'm gonna pay. So he started paying me a little bit. He kept blowing up. So I finally called him. I said, Smitty, what's wrong with you? I grabbed him, hugged him. I said, come on, man. Because I don't do black on black. I never have. All the people I shot, whoop, they tried to rob me, do something to me. I don't want to do none of my people. We've been beat up enough. So that was in me from day one. Martin Luther King, Malcolm, that was already in me. So Smitty finally paid me. And I said, that's it. Man, come on, man. I said, no, man, because me and you going to fall out. We're going to fall out, and I don't want to fall out with you.
Yeah.
And so he went on, and he finally got him another connection, and he went on. But he didn't have to kill Johnny. Larry with his hoe ass, that's what I call him. Larry, I hope you hear me, nigga. Larry, I went to prison for Larry. Larry, that was his drugs he sold Cynthia Roberts. And he drove up in a limousine. They say it was me. I got a white limousine. It wasn't me. At Dennis Restaurant on 610. That wasn't even me. They doing a trial, and I'm looking. I'm telling Schaefer, I said, man, that's not me. Why would I sell some drugs to my singer? I got her off drugs. I didn't even know she had called for the drugs, and Larry brought them to her. And Larry knew I didn't want her on drugs. So he went behind my back. So they got the license plate, but they made it seem like it was me. So when Johnny shot him, when Smitty shot Johnny, he owed Johnny like $75,000. Smitty had at least $1 million. All they had to do is get that man his money. But Larry, after he shot him, Larry say, man, you know, man, Johnny a killer. And he is. You can't shoot Johnny. Joseph, all of them coming. His sister, everybody coming. Jonah, everybody coming. His mama coming. So that nigga turned around, walked back. Boom. Larry did that. Larry supposed to have been saying, let's get him up, take him to the hospital. You should have never shot him. Okay, let me go and straighten this shit up. We got in the game to make money, take care of our wife and our family and get out. We didn't get in no game to get no jewelry and a big diamond in the mouth. We didn't do that. We got in the game to take care of our family. We wasn't getting no game to shoot and kill each other. This dumb shit we doing now, these niggas ain't no gangsters, they hoes. How in the hell you a gangster and you shooting your brother? Your brother didn't put you in slavery. Your brother didn't take your goddamn name. He didn't rape you. So why you shooting him? Because you hate your goddamn self. I can never, right now, you come over here and hit me in the chest. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell her, get up and let's leave. I'm not fighting you. I don't want to fight Willie D. Willie D didn't put me in slavery. When did you put me in slavery? When did you rape my mama? When did you cut the baby out of the stomach and set the goddamn baby on fire? When did you rape the man? They used to put the men on the thing and buckle him down and have sex with him in front of the women to make him less than. And take a horse and let the horse go both ways. So the worst thing the penitentiary ever did was send me to prison. Because now, when I do that movie, the American Gangster, me, you, and whoever else, now at the end of the movie, we're going to show them how to get out the game and go back to God. And show them where the game is not popular. Everybody talking about the game. The game ain't nothing. The game out God in. And my movie will be done, and I will show millions of young people how to get out the game and go to God. If you don't go to God and take care of your wife and your family, you ain't shit. And I said that, Johnny Bounder, Dr. Jeremiah Muhammad.
What's an immediate resolution that a youngster listening to this podcast right now can exercise? Like, say for instance, you got a youngster somewhere in Miami, Houston, Atlanta, anywhere in the world really, and he's in that position where, you know, he's in the streets and he's around people that are in the streets, in the game, whatever. Maybe he ain't all fully committed to it, or maybe he is, but he needs something else. You know, the quick money is right here. The quick money is stick 'em up, man. You know, the quick money is to move the package. What can you tell that youngster that what option can you give him to persuade him to not go down that dark path that leads to automatic destruction? What could he do to change that trajectory of becoming a statistic? What can he do to earn some money legitimately where he can feel proud of himself and be able to take care of his family? What could he do?
Good question. I pressed on you about 10 minutes ago. I've never said this much about my movie, You the First and the Last. But the young man has to get some kind of trade. And then you can go to real estate without license. You can buy a piece of property. I know a girl started with $5,000, and now she's a millionaire, her and her husband. $5,000. She got her income tax check back, bought a piece of property, borrowed some more money on it, did the rehab, and she kept doing it. It took about 4 years. Now she on almost 100 acres, got 100 people working for her. So you can start.
But $5,000 sounds like $1 million to somebody who ain't even got a job.
Right. So she got her income tax check.
So what do a guy who maybe start off with $20 do?
He have to
$100 do.
Thank you. Well, I don't want to bring this in. Buffett started with $100, borrowed $100,000, and became a billionaire. But again, I started with $350. When I came home from prison, I borrowed $350 from Johnny Hickman. I think I got it from him, I don't remember. And I started from there and made over $100 million less than 5 years. So all I'm saying to you, I'm telling them, let's pick up some kind of trade. You want a cleaners, you want a real estate company, you want to go back to school for vocational school. We will open up vocational school because they took them out the system purposely. For the recidivism rate, almost 80% of the people get out of prison go right back through the recidivism rate. It's a con game. That's why they kicked me out the halfway house, because I was teaching the young men how not to go back to prison downtown. It's a co-ed. They kicked me out in 53 days. I supposed to have been there 6 months. They woke me up in the middle of the night. Hey, come here. Get out. Sign these papers. I said, what? Sign these papers. I signed them. Get out of here. Don't you come back on this property. They kicked me out. They don't want wisdom. That's why Malcolm, Martin, now you doing a lot of positive stuff, man. You had Cat Williams, you had some hell of a people on here speaking truth. So Willie D ain't gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. You become a threat. Now, if you talking about hoes and bitches and drugs and hookah pipes and go-go clubs, you ain't nothing. You ain't talking about nothing. But when you go talking about saving lives with the name that you got,
Black lives specifically,
the people listen now. God damn, Willie D. Yeah. Like what you just did the other night. for that woman. You helped heal that woman. You gave that woman another day of life because you were saying these thugs, what they do. Not all police are, but we talking about the ones that do it. You let her know that I'm Willie D, but yeah, I done been in the rap world, I did that, but now I'm back for God, and I'm saying, whatever it take. Then you told her, bring your GoFundMe to here, put it on my page, whatever I need to do to raise money for your son to get a lawyer, help you. Dude, you become a threat. When you go to talk about helping thousands of people, like Oprah Winfrey did, like Malcolm did, like Mr. Farrakhan, because now you conscious. It ain't just Willie D no more, it's Willie D that's conscious. You ain't got no knowledge, you ain't conscious. But when you got knowledge and wisdom, you conscious, you become a threat. That's why J. Edgar Hoover, all the leaders they had, they would kill them. Malcolm, Martin, all of them, they set all these boys up, man. Them boys on the ground didn't kill them, it was the boys up here. They shot this way. Yeah, so all our leaders been killed by J. Edgar Hoover. Jesse Jackson and Andrew Young, they was there. They was told to take that man. Why would you take the greatest leader of the Christian faith and put him on a balcony? Why wouldn't he like Honorable Elijah Muhammad in a hotel where nobody knew where he at the Lorraine Motel where prostitutes at? Why would you have Martin Luther King there and then bring him on the balcony? And you see that warehouse right across the street. Why? It was a setup. All our leaders, they set them up. We always got agents of provocateurs, snitches, and bitches in our camp. It's always a snitch in the camp somewhere. We gotta vet these niggas, man, because they'll work for that white man in a minute. That's what they do. The only reason they ain't been 3 different dudes don't come to me and try to get me to go back to the drug gang. Dude come and say, man, I don't want you to do nothing, man, and just give me 100 keys, man, and I'll give you $1 million a month. Ooh. So I went on talking to his mic. I said, say, brother, I don't sell drugs. You can give me $1 million a second. Now get your bitch ass out of my house. Man, what's wrong? I said, want me to snatch your clothes off and show you your mic? Nigga left. Then my son-in-law, him and some nigga come to me. They just want like 50 keys. I said, you a snitch, huh? But, nigga, you a snitch. You coming to me trying to put me in the game. Then the first one was the Colombians. They came to me through that girl, and I didn't know she was trying to set me up. She was my girlfriend, and Phyllis. So I'm there at her house and gave me the house, the key, everything. But she used to be my girlfriend before then. So she took me to some little place where all these boats at, and I mean speed boats, $100,000 boat, $40,000. I'm like, God damn, you had to pay $8 to go through there. Well, my Colombian was there. I guess he had got locked up or something. He was trying to get somebody out. On the way out, he walk up to me, he say, hey, man, whoa, we hug. You know, I'm thinking he finna say, man, I'm finna give you a couple of $1 million. You know, if he legit, I'll take it. If he ain't legit, I don't want it. So I said, what you doing? I'm waiting to say I got a trucking company or real estate. I want to hear something. This nigga say he's still doing what he, I said, oh, no, I'm good. I'm gonna give you $4 million every quarter. You got a children foundation. He shouldn't have said that, because how you know I got children foundation? Because I ain't put it on the news that much. So, and I'm gonna give you $1 million every quarter. You keep it and give me the 3 back in laundering money through WBD Save the Children Life. And gave me his number and hugged me. Then I go back to the truck. I tell Phyllis, I said, come on, let's go. I get in the truck with her, I look at her. You know my head clicking. Because they don't know how deep I am with the spiritual. This ain't no coincidence, this man at this beach. She brought me here. She gonna get me too. I say, no. So I say, Phyllis. I say, one of my connections gave me this number to launder $4 million. I get $1 million out of it. Oh, you gonna do it? How would I do it? She shouldn't have said that. I took that goddamn number, Willie D. I tore it up. And Willie D, I have $1,000 in my pocket. I'd rather sleep under that goddamn bridge, go to Walmart and get me a tent and a blow-up before I go back to the game. But I got enough children. My children all got homes. I can go to one of them houses and go and get in the guest room and go sleep. So all I'm saying to you, young people, get out the game. 90% of your crew is snitching. Get out the game. Whatever money you got, go open some kind of business. If you don't know how to open up a business, do what my partner did. He gave his money to a restaurant owner. Now he rich because the restaurant owner pay him every month. He invested like half a million with him. And now he out of Galveston. So now he gets rich. Him and his wife got a big home. They come out of Texas University. If you ain't an entrepreneur, invest your money with Willie D or with Catherine, whoever doing business. With me. I'm finna build 90 townhouses. I need 2.5 right now. So again, invest your money with somebody you can trust. But get out the game. Because if you don't get out the game, you're going to prison. And 85, 90% of the time you do, when you get out, you'll be dead. It's not worth it. So this Johnny Biden talking to you. You followed me when I was a fool. When I was a goddamn fool. With the big Jerry curl, big diamond, 7 Cadillacs, Rolls Royce, limousine, Porsche, all the cars. You followed me when I was a fool. Follow me now when I'm following God. And if you follow me now, you follow Willie D, you follow Catherine, if you follow us now, we can get you out the game. We're going to open up vocational schools where we can get you out because they make $40 billion a year, and some of the judges got busted sending people to prison because they got a percentage in the prison in the stock market. So we still in slavery. They say in 1857, the Dred Scott case, we 3/5 human, right? And Chief Roger Cheney. Well, if we 3/5 human, then what are you, Mr. White Man? You come out of us. Because 3/5 human, you're not even alive. We the original man. All life comes from us. We dominant, you recessive. The sun is your enemy. You catch skin cancer, 2 million of y'all. We love you. We don't love your way. But you hate us. I ain't talking about the little local white folks around here. I'm talking about Washington, D.C. What Donald Trump just did, he told the police, all the police got cases stuff, right? He just cut it loose where they can go to other places and get jobs. It was set up where they couldn't go get no more jobs. Donald Trump done come up with a law that's going to wipe that clean, and these same police shooting, beating up folks, going all that, these ruck police officers going to get jobs again. Same one did January 6th and got 34 felonies.
We know why racist white folks backed Donald Trump after knowing that he do stuff like that. But how do you explain a black person, man or woman, backing Donald Trump, knowing that he support policies like that? And what do you think of them?
Good question. To all my brothers and sisters that back Donald Trump, ain't but 2 things you need. Either you need a psychosocial assessment and a Dianetic, or you done lost your goddamn mind. Donald Trump don't give a damn about you. Them 4 boys right there in New York, he lied on them, put a billboard up. Even when the DNA come back, he still say they did it.
It was 5 of them.
Yeah, 5 of them.
Yeah.
And then he turn around, his apartment complex, him and his daddy, wouldn't let no blacks stay there. They just paid the fine. Donald Trump, because he gave some dude a partner, one out of New Orleans, the other boy, Kodak camera, whoever, that don't mean nothing. that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm talking about.
Kodak camera.
Yeah, Kodak, whatever his name is. That don't mean nothing. Lil Wayne and him. That don't mean nothing, man.
What about the 5,000 brothers not, I guess, just 5,000 people, inmates that he freed?
That's a con game to suck us in, go to a black church. He let 1,600 people out that broke in that goddamn Capitol, and 5 people died, and one was a police officer. He let them go. The white woman said, I don't want to be let go.
4 were police officers, from what I understand. 4 police officers were killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 committed suicide a week later. It was so much stress on them.
Well, they talk about the 5,000, I think it was 5,000 blacks. They talk about the 5,000 blacks that Donald Trump freed, but they didn't talk about the incoming 437,000 that he allowed, to go in. To go in. The ones that he stepped back and he sat on his hands and allowed these policies and these racial disparities to continue. So,
Clinton a part of that.
Yeah,
Three strikes you out.
Well, actually, all of them are a part of it. Democrats, and
Republicans, all of them together. They're just playing games.
All of them.
Whoever can tell the best lie,
including Barack.
I'd never vote again.
Including Barack.
Yeah,
because Barack was responsible. He was there. He oversaw the killing of Gaddafi, one of our greatest friends.
Gaddafi,
a friend to the black community.
Gaddafi
and Barack Obama oversaw his murder. And
it was murder.
And you had some black people who had the nerve to cheer that.
You know why?
Well, I know why.
He doing the same thing. I don't know if you know what just happened. He doing the same thing that this president of China just did. He went back to Vietnamese. He went over to Yemen. He's finna get him like $240 billion. He said, you got to pay no tariffs. Send all your stuff over to China. I'm paying for it. He told, what's the money you lost? I got y'all. All y'all going to come together with me. We're going to put up our own world. We're going to bankrupt America. We're not going to use their dollar. Donald Trump called him and said, man, what you doing? You going to do me like this? He said, sir, I want nothing to do with you. I'm going to bankrupt you. Gaddafi was doing the same thing. He had 50 countries putting Mandela picture on the
universal
thing.
Currency, that's what got him killed.
So all the gold and all the oil, Canada's with them. We through. Donald Trump is finna put America in the worst economic deficits ever in the history of time. No country wants to deal with this man. China is the business superpower, but now we gonna know China's superpower. China owns 65-70% of America. If they call their dollar in right now, we'd be bankrupt.
Well, Qatar just gave Trump a $400 million plane. What tripped me out is that, what if they have some type of device on that plane where they can control it like they can control a, what do you call those things that fly around in the air? Those things,
baby,
what do you call those
some
things?
Of the things. The drones.
Drones, yeah. What if they can control that, like, say Trump on his way back to D.C. And next thing you know, the plane just starts.
It's illegal to take a plane, brother, from any corporation because that's a conflict of interest.
Right.
They buying in. The plane has to come from the government. That's a policy been broken. I pray all the lawyers and the legislators, Democrats, go against that and don't give them that plane. You can't just give some president a goddamn plane because you buying the president like Elon Musk is the president, Donald Trump the vice president.
But check out how they doing it though. They're doing it under the guise of giving Trump the plane to replace Air Force One, and when he leaves office, he can take the plane with him. But they said, it goes to his foundation, but he gets to use it whenever he wants. So we know what that's about.
Cold game.
It's a cold game. I want to go back to 1979 through 1981. There was a period of time there where black people all over this country was spooked on pins and needles because 30 black males were found dead in Atlanta over that period of time. Mm-hmm. They were getting picked off left and right, and people suspected that the Klan had something to do with it. But
and they put the lie on Wayne Williams.
But when it all was said and done, Wayne Williams was captured, tried, and convicted for the murders. Where he only got convicted for 2 murders, but it was long suspected that he didn't do all those other murders, and nobody ever were held responsible. In fact, Keisha Lance Bottoms, the mayor of Atlanta, actually reopened the case in 2019, but to date, nobody has been held responsible. But here's something: I know that you're a supporter of Wayne Williams because you don't believe that he did it. But how do you explain that after Wayne was captured, the murders stopped as far as like people being found and the style and the manner of which they died, which was by strangulation and chokeholds?
Good question. They've been doing that, brother. COINTEL, Illuminati, they was killing blacks. They know if they brought it up, the whole town would blow up. It wouldn't even be no Atlanta today. It'll blew up because black in Atlanta was kind of conscious. The fighting was going to start. It was going to go hard. So they had to put it on a black man to water it down. Wayne Williams came back to court more than once to prove what happened. A lot of Texas tests the whole 9 yards. But that's the only way they could keep Atlanta together. Atlanta was Black Hollywood for a minute. But now they put something in the water, Infamil, Gerber, and Similac. Now you got almost 70% of the young men down there gay. So they tried it out and it worked. They've been wanting Atlanta. Same way they want New Orleans when they bust a levee in Katrina. So, Willie D, you don't think like they think. These people are animalistic. That's why in the Bible say the love of money is the root of all evil. We don't love money. They in love with money. See what I'm saying? So China finna spank America's ass. And China told America, we love you. But that president you got, y'all don't move him, we're going to crush you. And they going to do it. They doing it right now. That's why they killed Gaddafi. Gaddafi was with Minister Farrakhan. Gaddafi gave Minister Farrakhan $1 billion after Million Man March. $1 billion. Gave it to him. Gaddafi had the only country, all insurance, all food, all cars. Nobody needed for nothing. Nobody was broke in Libya.
I thought the U.S. intercepted that money that Gaddafi
They stopped him from bringing it. He could keep it, but he couldn't bring it to America. They got up in the middle of the night, 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. They wouldn't let Minister Farrakhan bring the money. They can't stop Gaddafi from giving it to him, but he could not bring none of that money and put him in the banks of America.
Did you have any money in the bank when you became a father at the age of 13, 14? Because I know you had a child. You were in the, 8th grade or something when you had your first kid?
9th grade.
Man,
I didn't know that. You've been studying.
Man, I'm not going to disrespect you like that, man. I got to do my research on my guests.
You've been studying.
Yeah, so what was, how did that happen? I mean, I know how it happened, but
I was playing baseball.
You know, yeah.
I told him I'm playing with baseball, man.
Okay.
Really, I can play right now at this age. I can go, man. But I didn't know I was going to be a millionaire doing baseball. I just loved playing baseball. My daddy bought the equipment in Cloverland Park. A dude named Butcher Chinese taught me how to play, and I came and started beating him. I can play every position out there. I started pitching, back catching, first, the whole 9 yards. But I wanted to play short because I can control the game. So I bat fourth, and I play short. And it was just, and I'm popular playing baseball in Cloverland. I moved to South Park, and I seen this hot yellow pretty girl on Scott, and I just spoke to her. I'm in my own truck, and she spoke back. I took her to school a couple times. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. We had sex.
You had your own car at 13, 14 years old?
15.
You was 15. Well, that's still young. I mean, there's only a few people that was 15 had their own cars.
Yeah, my daddy showed me how to drive.
High school.
Put me on his lap.
At least the one I went to.
Yeah. I was rich. I was rich. My daddy, Johnny Biden son, construction company. See, my being a gangster ain't like everybody else. They was broke, so they had to go. I ain't have to go. Only reason I went, when they locked me up in 1979, I got out in 1983, I got a full pardon. And then when I got out the game because of Kathy Griffin, love Kathy, God showed me this ain't you. Get out of this. Then after I went to Fort Ward, out of all the wards, I don't know, I went to Fort Ward. And I bought the club from the people. They would never let me just pay cash for it. He kept renting it to me. So the man got mad and said, I want alcohol. I said, no, you put no alcohol in here. It ain't in the lease. I don't want no alcohol in there. I opened up a whole children's foundation, put a $10,000 TV in there. I bought all the foods, dominoes, all that, because I didn't know how to play chess then. So it was just the junk. And I had dancers, and we sent all the children to school. Me and Mount Heaven Baptist Church with brand new clothes. We had so many clothes, they left some. So that's what I was doing. Every year I was sending them to school. That was in me, and it's in me right now. So I didn't know it was in me, Willie, till I seen Kathy Griffin. She's pregnant, beautiful, rocking her hand, and something struck me, man. I'm like, damn, I can kill that baby. And I don't want to kill no baby. That ain't who I am. That ain't who you are. That ain't who we are. So they done made us something other than ourselves. That's why I say there's no such thing, no prostitute. She acted as a prostitute. She sold her pussy. Okay, she sold her pussy. She ain't a prostitute. She's only what God made her. That's why God said in Romans 1:25, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship the creature instead of the creator. And 24, professing to be wise, yet they become fools. These pastors not helping us. It's too many Sunday morning disco style shows and political horse centers. They got trees in their church. When they know the Bible say don't put no tree in your church. They decked with silver and gold, the work of a cunning man. God said don't follow their custom of their ways. It's in Jeremiah 10. Easter, all that junk in the Bible, and they still doing it. So most of the pastors not helping us. And I done been with them. I call their name, and I done told them, say, man, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Stop misleading the people and get the people to God. In Ezekiel 34, God said, you clothed yourself, you fed yourself, but you have not fed my flock. And God said, you have scattered my flock, and I will come and remove you. So a bunch of these pastors going to hell with a gasoline jacket on. And by the third of them gay. So it's a bunch of buffoonery going on, man. We are not teaching and training our people. We could take me, you, about 10 brothers just here in Houston, bring the rappers here, put together money, like Boris Marlin did, get the insurance, take insurance company, open up our private bank, then open up our credit union, then our finance company. What Kirby John was going to do before they tricked him and took him to Louisiana and gave him that stupid case by some Chinese born. I said, Kirby John, smart as you are, why would you let nobody tell me about some Chinese bonds? I'm going to dial 911. I don't want to know about no bonds. If it ain't real estate, don't call me. Yeah, so all I'm saying to you is that we have to open up our own, like they paused us in Flint, like they paused us in Jacksonville, 192,000 people with water. We need our own water company. We need to build our own subdivision. Like Kirby John built Corinthian Point 1 and 2. We got enough money. We spend $1.3 trillion. We number 8 in the richest nation in the world. If we would take our money, brother, we would be like China. America would have to deal with us like they got to deal with China. Donald Trump is kissing the Chinese ass right now.
What do you believe is the biggest hindrance for us not building our own within this system?
It's because in the Bible, help me God, in the Bible it says our people destroyed for the lack of knowledge. It's a girl, she just bought like 200 acres. She finna get 2 houses away in Atlanta next month. I'll be there with her. Her and her husband, not millionaires. Started with the 5,000. Another 19 women in Atlanta got 1,000 acres, started off 500 acres. I flew down there, I met them. So we got another black woman on a bank in Dallas. We got another 3 black women on a bank in Katy. The women stepping out on us, man. Notice I ain't said the black man yet. It's the women. So what we need to do is hook up with them, work with them, and open up our own banks. 96% of our money, Kathy Hughes been steady telling people, buy black, buy black, buy black. 96% of our money go out our neighborhood. Don't but 4% stay there. But 96% of the Chinese money stay in their neighborhood. Right there on Bel Air, they got 622 businesses. They worth $22 billion. They got 4 banks. They just got here the other day. We've been here. We got one stinking street, Martin Luther King, and it's raggedy. They got one Bel Air street, and they billionaires.
But what is the thing that's hindering us the most?
Willie Lynch, 1712, Fear, Distrust, and Envy. If you ever read it, Google it, 1712, Willie Lynch. They started making us hate each other. He said, stop letting these niggas, stop hanging them. Make them hate each other, we can control them. Fear, distrust, and envy. If I got a flat nose, she got a pointed nose, I'll be jealous of a pointed nose. So it got brighter and brighter like Michael Jackson did himself. Brighter and brighter. Beyonce, I hope she stopped. Brighter and brighter and brighter. Because we think light is the best and dark. I was like that. If a woman was dark, I wouldn't even talk to her.
Well, hold on, let me go back. Because Beyonce is family. Did you just say no?
What did I say?
Beyonce is not using no type of.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Beyonce. I love Beyonce, but Beyonce need to become if that was your sister, she is your sister, not by blood, but she's your sister. Beyonce need to become a humanitarian. She's a billionaire.
But she is.
If it did, I didn't know about it.
She is. She is.
She's a humanitarian?
She does so much, man.
Okay. Well, her husband do more than her.
She gives. I don't know who do the most, but because they're married, I would assume it's a
If one do it, the other one do it.
Yeah, I would assume that it's a united front because she is married.
Don't get this wrong. I love Beyonce, but it's a whole lot of motion. LeBron James took $60 million and opened up schools, buses, the whole 9 yards. So I never seen him do that. Oprah Winfrey did it. So I don't.
But we also don't like. We'd also like it's stuff that I do. It's stuff that you do. People don't know because you haven't announced it. Because everything is not for public consumption. All information is not for public consumption, and one of the biggest reasons why we have to oftentimes move in silence is because you have people that run interference, and that's what I was alluding to when I was talking about the biggest hindrance. What
when you saying why we won't come together and open our own, I won't answer that.
Well, you said, I think you answered it when you said that the mistrust that we have.
There we go.
You said mistrust, but
fear, distrust, and envy has been rooted in us.
That's true, and I think that is a big part of it. That's a huge part of it. But I would challenge you in saying that a greater part of that, because there is a connection there with people running interference, I would say the biggest part of it is the fact that we live within a government who targets us for failure on every level, economically, socially, medically, on every level. We're dealing with, even educationally, we're dealing with a government who targets us for failure.
You own it.
So this is why
you own it.
This is why we have to be careful when we talk about how people just got here and they start making shit happen and they got this and they got this, because they ain't got nobody running interference.
Ain't nobody running interference, and they gave them bank. They gave them loans. They didn't give us loans.
Yes, that's my point. See, they don't have anybody running interference. They're running interference with us. Like we've already showed that we have the propensity to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps
with nothing.
and build communities, build thriving communities, build communities where we're self-sufficient and independent. Our own banks, our own hospitals, our own cleaners, our own schools, everything, grocery stores, everything we've ever needed, we've actually done it. We've proven we ain't new to this shit. We did it pre-slavery. We've always been innovative like that and self-sufficient. But the issue that we have here is that we live with, we're trying to operate a system within a system that targets us for failure. And so when people say, well, they've just got here and they got all of this and they got that, that's cool. I hear you, but
you cleared that up.
But check this out.
It's interference.
No group of people in the history of civilization has ever been able to reach their optimum, get anywhere close to their optimum, or their fullest potential, when they've been targeted by their own government for failure. The government makes the laws, the government enforces the laws at their discretion, right? The government owns the law enforcement. They own the educational system. They own the military. So whatever they decide that they want to run interference on, they can do it, and it ain't much you can do about it except get the hell up out of here. You see? So that's the biggest hindrance, in my opinion. Because remember, we've already had this mindset where we worked together and we did it for ourselves and everybody was on the same page, and these motherfuckers came in and destroyed it. Okay? So we're still dealing with that to this day.
I'm agreeing.
I had Vlad on the show a few weeks ago. Vlad from Vlad TV. Okay. Vlad, I was explaining to Vlad that I have all the problems that he have. I have those problems. When I say the problems that he have, I'm talking about having to pay the rent, to being dealing with your spouse, whatever comes with that, dealing with your children, dealing with sickness, dealing with the loss of a family member, backstabbing friend, all of these type of things that regular people have to deal with on the regular. I got all of that, and then I got some more shit going on with the black thing.
Come on.
Because I got your problems, and I got black problems on top of your problems.
Come on.
So the way that you move is going to be different, and the opportunities that you have is going to be different. But even so, I'm not using that as an excuse. I'll never use an excuse, because if I did, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm just saying that I am cognizant of what's going on and what we're up against. And I'm not embarrassed, and I'm not going to be silent for somebody else to be comfortable. I'm not going to be silent and calling that.
I agree with that.
And calling the BS out.
I agree.
Because a lot of times when we call the BS out, they want to say, "Oh, there you go complaining. Oh, it must feel good to be a victim." And the same people that say that type of shit is just projecting, because all they do is complain. You know, if we're complaining, they complain about us complaining.
I want to go where you went. I'm going to say it again, and I agree with you. It's an additive to it. It's fear, distrust, and envy. When you read it, 1712. But again, it's the interference definitely got a major part of what you just said, because they keep the money from us. All the bland Cadillac. Kern was a black man. Sears and Roebuck. Roebuck was a black man. Street sweeper. I can name about 50 different things right here that black people created. The first open heart surgery was us. So, and they patented it, because they made us against the law for us to read for 310 years. So we signed, don't know what the hell we signed, and they take it. Like amongst these record companies. People popular and broke. So a lot of this stuff happened. So when I'm saying to you, I'm agreeing with you. I didn't put that in. From now on, when I speak, I'm going to definitely speak about the interference. Because interference is very, very powerful. And they've been running interference with Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, you, me. I mean, it's been interference so long for me and you to be sitting here on the north side, the south side. I'm supposed to hate you because I'm on the south side. You're on the north side, so I hate you. It's a bunch of buffoonery. We've been caught up in the lies and trickery. So my whole thing to these young people that listen to us, get out the game, man. Johnny Bond is telling you they had been arrested 41 times, faced life with no parole, had on death row that you didn't know, 14 days. Say I killed the police officer. I was in Dallas again. Dallas seemed to be where I go when I guess I'm going to get locked up. So I'm on the way back to Dallas in Carson County, and the police pulled me over. I wasn't speeding. I was up. Get out the car. And he by himself. You know I can take him. But I don't want, they had no thing back then. But my license plate number out too. I'm like, he know he can call it in. I get out, what's up? Turn around. Turn around for what? You going to jail. What I do? I go, because if I do anything, the car stopping, slowing down. So I'm in a cross. I go on and, because I fought 7 of them before, undercover, and 5 of us went to the hospital. So what I'm saying to you, they took me, put me on death row, wouldn't let me call no lawyer, put me in a death row tank, 3 doors. I had never fasted in my life. I didn't eat for 14 days. I was drinking a little nasty water. I was kicking them out. They got scared, thought I was going to die up in there. Because I was doing that to make them give me that phone. They wouldn't give me the phone. Well, I called one of my lawyers. So I got on my knees, Willie Lee. I said, God, this how my life go in? I ain't killed no police officer. If I did, would nobody know but me and them. But I ain't killed no police officer. I was in Dallas. So while people sending email, I was sending email. And I was on my knees for 7, 8 days. I had never been on my knees that long in my life.
What mail?
While people sending email, I was sending an email.
You praying to God?
Praying.
Yeah.
I begged him. I said, God, you brought me this far. Just throw me away. I ain't got nothing, no gift that I can. I said, I know people lie and say, if you give me out, I serve you. I said, but I'm not one of them. I said, I know you know I am. I live and die my word. You up in me. Greatest He is in you than He is in the world. I know you hear me because you're up in me. I'm not looking up there. I'm talking to you, God. Because if you wasn't in me, I wouldn't be alive. You the supreme being. I'm the human being. So I'm talking to the being that's in me. You going to leave me here? I laid down. That 14th day, Mr. Binder, come to the door. I said, he's trying to make me eat. They going to try to put me down, put a thing on, make me eat, because they think I'm going to die in there. I said, nah, I ain't coming out. He said, no, come to the door. I look out there, I see about 4 or 5 people. The door, boom. So, you know, I'm a little weak. I'm getting ready. I know he's gonna run in on me. He said, what you doing? I said, what's up? He said, come out. I walk out. Mr. Binder, you free to go. We found the brother that killed the police officer in New Orleans. That's why I serve God to this day. Ain't no lawyer get me out. My mama didn't get me out. God, I begged him for 14 days, and God opened that door, Willie D. Took that capital murder case off me for killing a police officer that I've never seen. When I walked out, I say, oh my God, here I am. And I'll work for God all the days of my life. Johnny Binder, the drug dealer. But now today I got a different drug. It's this drug. And I'm trying to drag our people back to God because we done left God. And we're doing all this hookah pipe and naked women, and women have uncovered because they have not discovered who they are. You dress like a hoe, you catch a hoe, and he hold you out what you mad for. You catch a dog, he bites you, you know he's a dog when you got him. So we are confused. And the Bible said when they were looking for Jesus, they kill all the boys 2 years on back. But the women had to hide their babies. They said, what are we going to do with the women? And so we're going to use the women as spoils of war, as booties. And to this day, 2025, Chinese, white, pink, brown, everybody, damn near 80% of the women are wearing Daisy Dukes. And Genesis said they would do it. They're showing their ass. They're not showing no class. And God said in Peter's 3, husband and wife, say, do not show your outer appearance or the plaiting of your hair to the public. He says, acquired beauty in the sight of God. Read it. Peter's 3, husband and wife. Read it. If it ain't in there, you can have my truck, and I catch an Uber. Read it. So God said, cover for me in my sight. Women dress for the devil. They ain't dressing for God. That's why they're at the club. For happy hour. They won't be happy for an hour. You got the hunt in the game. You got the hunt in the game. Here go the hunter, and I'm looking at the game. If you took all the women out of the club today, they shut down. Everybody there for pussy. I said that, Johnny Binder, Dr. Jeremiah. Yeah. And when we do this movie, you and I, us, we can save millions of people's lives. So when we die, we broke that generational curse. Or we can have our own banks, our own neighborhood, take care of our own wife and our own family, and be a man again to our family, where your wife can look at you and say, Willie D, you powerful. Not just here. And every black woman that's conscious will support you 1,000%. That's what we got to do with this Willie D show. You need to get a big contract where you can bring us in, where you can give back and help us and make us snap to stop shooting and killing one another. All this Chi-Town, they put that junk on TV on purpose, showing Chi-Town what happened down there. Now they came to Houston.
You know, speaking of the shootings, you had a son that died from gun
13
violence.
times.
Yeah.
The boxer, Tuffy, he had 2 championships.
Tuffy, yeah. I remember that, Tuffy was, I never talked to you about this, but I had just hung out with Tuffy about 3 weeks before that. Me, him, Reggie Johnson. I'm trying to think.
Reggie was like his best friend.
Yeah. Reggie,
Him and Reggie like this.
That's right. But,
You never told me.
I know, but, I think what happened was, like, when it first happened, and I guess I was probably out of pocket for not reaching out But I think what happened was that when it first happened, I knew the strain that you were under, and I knew everybody was reaching out, and everybody was on you. So I was trying to give you space, knowing that, taking for granted that I would someday have a conversation with you about it. But I guess Tuffy was a really funny guy.
He was a fun guy.
he was
He liked having fun.
We was like just 3 weeks ago, we were like really he was cracking everybody up. We was at the Improv. I can't remember what comedian was in the what comedian we was checking out, but we were in the green room, and he just had everybody cracking up.
That's him.
And so when I got the news, it really was heartbreaking, man, because he was really one of the last people that I thought would die from gun violence. How did that?
A lawyer.
How did that affect you?
Well, I stayed with Tuffy for 1 year. Every weekend I would go to his house. I've never did that for no child. I seen his greatness. So he won 2 championships in Columbia. He broke the white boy jaw here, but he didn't finish him. So I was hot at him. I'm on side, man. No, man, throw the hook up. He wouldn't do it. He kept running. The man jaw broke, finish him. Make a long story short, he married a white woman. And I had a problem with that. So he went away and did it. He come back with her. She bought him a house, big house, $500,000 house. I thought 1960. I went over there, I sit with her. I thought about Master Father Muhammad, white mother, black father. I said, all right, you broke, she rich. Okay. So it finally changed a little bit. You to be the man rich and the woman poor. So I go with it. I said, okay. I talked to her. And she said, I don't care what you say. I'm in love with him. I know you're in the nation. I don't say nothing. I waited about 6 months. I said, I'm going to watch this marriage. So I kept coming there, telling Tuffy what to do, how to do. And he didn't know how to be a husband. And she jumped in the water and committed suicide. I had to do her funeral. Can you imagine me? Had to do my daughter-in-law's funeral. Then I had to do Tuffy's funeral. So you wanted to, and I'm loving you more and more now because you conscious. People don't even know what I ain't never thought about suicide. That didn't come on me. Because I'd have wiped it off if it came. But I thought about going away. I thought about getting me like 7, 8 million, 10 million and leave the country, either go to Ghana, Lagos, or China. They're my little brothers. I want to get out of here. I just talked about this last night before I come to the show. And I laid down all night because I said, I've never told nobody. And I told Kathy, I said, I'm going to tell Willie D the truth. Other people, I just give them a little bit because I don't trust them like that. I give them a little bit. But you down to earth. You've been through it. You've been through it. And for you to be here and made it and not get killed, not become a drug dealer, and not to be in no gang, that's a lot. And the way you spoke to Scarface in a respectful manner and you gave him the platform, just tell me why you did it. You was very humble. My son, Russ, all of us, we watching you. We sitting there like Johnny Cochran court with OJ. We watching you like this. And you was so professional. You said, brother, you just left here. You could have told me, I'm your family. What? And he couldn't answer. He kept running with it. And you humbly walked him down with truth. And truth goes for everybody. So when I seen that, I said, boy, Willie D's real. So I didn't know you hung with my son. So if she died, I go over there and stay with him some more. He was gonna marry a doctor from Africa, about 30 years old. Pretty. But the daddy is a millionaire, a king out of Africa. He said, no, you can't marry him. I'll let you marry him. We watch him for 5 years. So Tough come to me and tell me, man, how would you go talk to her daddy, man? What's wrong? I want to marry her now. He wanted to marry her, man. because they were staying at each other's house. Reggie was there. So I'm like, I said, Tuffy, you want to accept that? I ain't going to try to talk to that man out of that. That man got millions of dollars in his daughter. She's a doctor. She's a full-fledged doctor. And she going back to school for anesthesia so she could be more of a doctor. I said, no, I ain't doing that. I said, what's name waited for Rachel for 14 years? You ain't wait 5, and you got this beautiful woman. No, I'm going to quit her. I said, Tuffy, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Man, my son quit that woman. About a year later, he met this girl, Islander, and I never met her. And they started talking, Reggie telling him, hey, man, what's going on? Because him and Reggie like that. And the girl kept coming around my son and went back to her husband for divorce. They had almost divorced in 2017. So he got wind of Tuffy, and he called Tuffy because he had a track on that car. He called Tuffy, hey, man, he's a lawyer, Sean Harris. The dude's smooth. So Tuffy ain't thinking he no gangster. So Tuffy said, what's up? He said, come to Crab Shack where you that going on 1960 and Veteran Memorial. Come on over here. And I signed the paper. Take this whatever and get on with it. He went for that. He went for that lawyer. Lawyer done closed his case. Instead of picking the phone up and calling his father, who's a real live gangster for God now. Why you don't call me? I'm finna go. You finna go where? Whoa. Let me get my crew. I'm gonna get the nation. We're gonna go out there. When he drive up in his, he had something little funny called, not Lamborghini, some little car cost $100,000.
Maserati.
But look at you. He drove in his little Maserati. Soon he got out. We wouldn't have hurt him. We'd have put the gun on him. See if he had a gun on him. We'd have searched the car, the trunk, and all that. We'd have took his keys. Go talk to my son. Whatever y'all choose to do is good with me. Oh, he signed the papers? Okay. You can't get the guns back. I'll give them to you about a year from now. You can't get them back. Leave Tough. Leave. Man, fuck Tough. Leave the country with that girl because you know where you live. That's what I'd have done. But I don't get a chance to do none of that. He meet with the dude, and the dude leave for 30 minutes and come back.
Right.
When the dude come back, the police gone. The police was only there. They come at night. They was only there in the daytime because the owner, they talked to Tough, and Tough thought it might be a problem.